Hey everybody, welcome to Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. We are back. This is the DFG podcast number 002. And with me today, back by popular demand, is the man himself, my brother from another mother and the same Heavenly Father. What's going on, Jay? Talk to the people.
What's going on, people? Wait, did you say popular demand? Have I been demanded? Do
Back
people
by-
want me?
Back by popular demand.
Do people want my attention? Do they want my love? Do they want to touch me?
Man,
Okay,
I don't know. I don't know about the touching, brother. Let's not go there, man. You know, we want to probably just jump into this like ASAP, but before then, I just want to let everybody know who's either catching this on a live stream as we are on Mixer right now or on YouTube. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate that you just tuned in. Lend us your ear for a moment. We're going to be chatting here about a couple of things, but mainly the buzz that's going around on the internet. But before we get into that, as I promised, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Appreciate it if you help us get to our goal of at least 100 subscribers here, hopefully by the end of this month. If you catch this on this replay, January 2020. Yes, we are in 2020. Let's see, where do we start with this, Jay?
Oh, well, first off, I want to say, come on, babies. Show them channel some love.
Show the channel some love.
100 ain't too much to ask. It's just 100.
It's just
Come
100. Well, you know,
Like-
I already appreciate the people that's already subscribed. To be honest, we're at 39, 40, I believe, maybe 41. I haven't checked, but we were there stuck on 34 for a little while. But then some people jumped on and they showed some love, and most appreciated. So before we get into the hot and heavy of today, let's talk about what we've been playing. What you been playing, Jay?
Honestly, I haven't been playing too much right now. I've caught back up on Ghost Recon. I'm trying to get to 150 so we can all bust out that raid. I mean, right now, if you guys are watching and if it's pulled up, I am running Castlevania 1 and the brother is running Tomb Raider. So I hope you guys, we're doing this for your viewing pleasure.
Right.
And if
Well,
you don't like,
well, for the record, I'm not playing Tomb Raider live right now. Rise of the Tomb Raider. I did play. This footage was captured last night. Actually, I threw it on after I swapped out my capture card. I had an Elgato HD 60 Pro in there. If I'm saying that correctly, I'm looking around. I don't see the box. But anyway, I switched it out and I put in my 4K MK2 Elgato capture card. So moving forward, you guys are going to be seeing videos in 4K glory. There might be times that I capture at 1440p, but I'm ready, baby. I'm ready for that next gen console content capturing. And again, as Jay said, it's for your viewing pleasure. So hope you guys appreciate that. So Jay, you said you've been playing Breakpoint, trying to get to 150. I just finished Ori and the Blind Forest, the definitive edition, and the game's amazing.
The game looks sexy. I played it, watched your review on it, and I gotta say I must agree with your words because that game is something else, man. That game, it looks good. It plays wonderfully. It hits all the right notes that a game should.
Yeah,
And
guys. Yeah, do yourself a favor and play it. Yeah, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry I cut you off there for a moment.
No, you're good. I'm just saying that, guys, you are doing yourselves a disservice by not playing Ori.
Yeah.
So please reach out, play it. It's a great game.
Yeah, it's an amazing game, an amazing experience. I have not had a journey like that. Now, mind you, Ori was a game that I started late last year in 2019, probably during the holiday break, and I got hooked. And like you said, I made a video on it. I did a review. I know it's a game that's been out for quite some time, a couple of years already. It's on Game Pass, and March 11th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we were going to get Ori and the Will of the Wisp. So you know who's gonna be on there day one. I actually already downloaded the preload, so when the game drops on Game Pass day one, that's definitely gonna be a game that I'm going to jump on. So what else, Jay? What else you been doing? What other game have you been playing aside from Breakpoint? I know you've been playing some classic games as well.
Oh yeah, well, I'm always retro. Right now I'm actually playing Castlevania Live. So if you guys want to see that, hopefully the brother has it on the screen. If not, you can definitely just check into my channel. You won't hear my voice, but enjoy the gameplay and listen to the podcast. Because I'm just going retro and I'm enjoying myself, and I want you guys to enjoy yourself. So enjoy it, baby. That's what I'm here for.
All right, well, guys, definitely go check out Dark Dad 99. That's mixer.com/DarkDad99, so you can catch on his channel, because he's hosting me. So on his channel, you should see the split screen. You should see his live gameplay, and then you should see my Rise of the Tomb Raider capture from yesterday, which was about an hour's gameplay. And I will be playing that with no sound, even when I'm playing on Mixer and streaming there on Mixer. You will hear the game sound. You will not hear me and my voice. I just want the pure experience of going through the game. And again, hopefully if you guys haven't played it, you guys can follow along. So more to come on that. So anyways, Jay, we had the beginnings of a conversation when I was at work not too long ago here, a couple of hours ago. And we were getting into this topic about the whole buzz now on the internet. And mind you guys, we're gamers first and foremost. Do we have a preferred platform? I do. I'm not going to speak for Jay on that one. My preferred console platform is Xbox. How about you, Jay?
I play anything that's good.
And Jay plays anything that's good. Okay.
I mean, it is what it is, man. I can't sit here and deny that I won't. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Live it, love it.
I got you. Well, I mean, it's fair enough. I will play, like Jay said, I'm a gamer. I will play the game if it's good. It's good if it's on, Nintendo Switch, if it's on a PlayStation 4, if it's on Xbox, I'll play it. But my preferred console, where my friends are at, and where I prefer to personally play, is on the Xbox. I will choose the Xbox first over any other system currently in that ecosystem, which I just said. So with that said, I want to make that clear, because I don't want anyone to see this on a VOD and cherry pick our words and say, oh, this is an X-bot or whatever other derogatory name there is out there. First of all, I'm not going to pay you any mind. We're here to have a conversation, a passionate conversation as gamers. And Jay and I, we might not see eye to eye on everything. And that's okay. Well, that's okay. I mean, if we don't, we don't. But we're going to have a civil discussion, and we're going to see this through. Yeah, so, we want intelligence, and an intelligent thought to this. So without further ado, this is what we were really getting into. The whole buzz right now at the time that you're seeing this video and hearing this podcast, it is January 14, 2020. There was a rumor that now has been confirmed by Sony that they will not be attending E3 2020. Okay, they will not be at E3. And so the buzz on the internet right now, everybody and their mother's making a video. Everybody and their mother has a podcast. And we're chiming in, again, as gamers, and hopefully you guys can relate to us on that ground level, just to discuss, should we care? What does it mean? Are we going to speculate? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Jay.
Hold on, brother. Ain't no speculation. It's just like it always been. Xbox leads the way. They release first. Then Sony will drop theirs. I mean, this ain't nothing new. I mean, it really isn't. If you've been following games as long as I have, I can definitely tell you from the old Xbox to the 360, this is the way it's always been. So I'm not surprised at all.
Right, right. Well, you know what? And historically, if I'm not mistaken, at the E3 show, isn't it always Xbox that kind of leads that show, and then the last show that we get to see at E3 comes from Sony? Now, I'm not including Nintendo. I know Nintendo has their own Treehouse or Club Nintendo, whatever show that they do the day after Sony closes E3 on usually like a Monday evening or whatever evening that may be. But isn't that the order, or am I mistaken?
It depends sometimes. Sometimes Microsoft has gone first. Sometimes
Well,
Sony's going first.
I'm referencing last year. Last year,
Well,
and
Sony
the
wasn't there
year.
last
I know.
year.
I meant to say the year before that. The year before that, Xbox came out and they announced first, didn't they? They led the show,
Yeah,
and then that evening it was
Xbox,
PlayStation.
It was Xbox, Sony, Nintendo.
Right. So regardless of who's led or whatever, but Jay is claiming here, guys. He's claiming here that it's always been this way, that Xbox leads, and I want you to maybe amplify that. What do you mean that Xbox always leads and then PlayStation follows? Talk to me about that. Where are you coming from?
That's very simple. Every time Microsoft does something, Sony is there. I mean, anybody who's been playing games long enough knows that ain't nothing new. I mean, it really isn't. You know, I think that, right now with Sony, the only thing you got from Sony is a logo. Everybody's like, really, Sony? Is that all you can do for me? You can tickle me, you can tease me, but you can't give me what I want? I mean, and they won't. They're gonna wait. That's why they're skipping out on E3. That's why they might do something at TGS. They might do something at what's the game show in Germany? I mean, there'll be another game show. Because there are usually 3 big game shows, and I guarantee you, it's going to be, Microsoft, trying to do the best thing. They let me down by the whole, oh well, we're doing our best. We were going to not have any. Sadly enough, they're not going to have any exclusives for the first year, which is.
Yeah, well, don't wait a minute. Hold on. Don't get ahead of me, because I'm going to present something here a little bit later on, and I hope that you guys, again, you find it more educational and interesting than trying to interpret it as a knock against PlayStation 4 or Sony, period. But you just said a moment ago, Jay, that and we're having a conversation, so I don't want this to sound like an interview, but you said a moment ago that it's always been Microsoft kind of does something and then Sony reacts or respond. Now, which one are you saying? Are you saying that Sony is reactive, or are they responding in kind, or are they on defense? What are you trying to say? Like, explain that to me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Sony is defensive / proactive. When the Xbox One first came out, that was when, PS2 was going to hit its stride. You know what I mean? And when PS2 did its thing, everybody was like, oh God, PS2, Xbox. And we were all on it. Like, everybody was doing their thing. Because the big Xbox came first, then the PS2. Even though the PS2 outsold the Xbox, that's what happened. When the 360 launched, the 360 came first, then the PS3 dropped. And it's the same thing. The Xbox One dropped, then the PS4 dropped.
Okay, so you're saying historically the boxes, as far as the launches of the boxes, it's always been Microsoft first, and then shortly there behind has come PlayStation as far as launching, nothing else. We're not talking about like, a response where PlayStation has scrambled somehow to, oh, Xbox is doing this, we need an answer in the next week or in the next month. You're not saying that,
Yeah.
correct? Okay,
No,
okay,
I'm not
okay.
saying. I'm not
Okay,
saying
I
that.
I just wanted to be clear, because there's gonna be some people that are gonna hear this, and they're gonna be shadow boxing and be like, what that brother just said, nah, he's wrong, da da da. I want to try to be as clear as possible. What we're saying is system launches. That's all we saying.
Well, first off, if you misconstrue my words,
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
and I know it's gonna happen, but I'll tell anybody, talk to me. Don't try to put words in my mouth. Don't think for me, because that ain't your job. You ain't me.
Well, I mean, that's the world we live in, though, Jay. I mean, we understand that, and it ain't. There's nobody gonna take the time, especially the people who are cherry picking, who are taking snippets and sound bites just to create content. We're not here for that. We're here to lay down some opinions, maybe talk about some facts here and there. I can't tell you that I have some insider, behind the scenes information. If I was that guy, if you was that guy, Jay, we would probably be under NDAs right now. We wouldn't be able to even talk about it. So,
I'm sorry, my mouth will run like diarrhea and then have to wipe it up with toilet paper.
That's why you
what
don't.
it is.
That's why you ain't an insider and you don't work in the industry, because you just gonna run your mouth.
You know what? These companies have always, looked down on us.
Yeah, now I know who not to tell secrets to.
Oh, go ahead, man. Don't do me like that.
You just put yourself on the spot, brother. You just shouted yourself out. You can't talk to you, can't share secrets. Forget it. Thank you.
Hey, nah, you can share secrets. But if it's in the gaming world, I'm sorry, your secret might kind of leak out. I might not be the person you might want to say nothing to.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna keep this rolling. So
keep it rolling, baby.
we're talking about the launches, and and you can look back, and that's historical. We've seen, and we've been playing games, and we've been alive long enough to where we've seen the position switching off. You've had Microsoft on top one generation, PlayStation on top the next, Microsoft on I mean, it's a back and forth. Where we're at now, I strongly believe this, and I'm not just speaking from a one-sided, bias point of view right now, again, because I said that I prefer the Xbox ecosystem. These consoles that are coming out, these next-gen consoles that are coming out at the end of this year, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, are going to make a monumental leap in the console space. There's stuff that's coming. There's hardware in these consoles, in these machines, that the casual gamer has not experienced. If you've never experienced PC gaming where you've played on a mid-range, high-end PC, if you've never experienced certain things, and you click on either of those consoles, the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, come the end of 2020, before holiday season 2020, you're going to be blown away. There's going to be stuff on there that you're going to be like, wow, like this is night and day. Yeah.
Well,
go ahead, Jay.
I think
go
you're
ahead.
ahead of yourself on that.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me why. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I'm telling you, you're wrong.
This is coming from the guy who said that we ain't gonna disagree. Here we go. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, he gonna hit the bell on me. Okay.
I'm gonna bring a bell. Watch. Bing, bing. Let's go.
Well, first off, neither system's gonna have exclusives. And that's what
man, that's what you're gonna come with. Go ahead. I ain't gonna interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, hold on. Can you prove me wrong? Xbox.
No, go ahead.
Exclusive anyway. And you and Xbox, we both played Xbox all these years. And Xbox has what? The best exclusive Xbox has is Gears of War. And if you can prove me wrong on that, brother, I will bow down.
You just talked about these consoles that are coming, these next gen consoles, and you're saying that Xbox is not gonna have any exclusives. Okay, you said it.
A year or two, and they've announced that themselves.
Is PlayStation gonna have exclusives? PlayStation 5 next gen exclusives. Do we know up until now?
Well, PlayStation hadn't opened their mouth about anything. I'm sure they're sitting around twiddling their junk at the moment. So
the only thing that we know now for both consoles, the Xbox and the PlayStation, that they have opened their mouth about, is about stuff that's still coming to this generation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't even want to go into the when the systems launch, Xbox is not gonna have any exclusives, because if you want to get technical about it, is not Halo an exclusive to Xbox?
It is, but
okay,
there's no telling when Halo Infinite's gonna come out. They didn't announce Halo Infinite.
They announced that Halo Infinite is going to come launch date with the Xbox Series X launch.
You know what? They can say that, but it doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
you don't believe it, but that's what's known. That's what's been said, and that's what.
How many companies are giving you false promises? This is what's gonna happen. This is what we're gonna do. And
listen, I'm gonna tell you why Halo Infinite is coming. Launch date, Xbox Series. They already announced it. It's already old news. It's out there, okay? But they've had more than enough time, and not only that, but there's more to it. Halo Infinite is not going to be just an exclusive game locked to the Xbox Series X. You're going to be able to run, according to Matt Booty, who is the head of Microsoft Studios, okay? He himself, and I'm not quoting him, but he has said that Xbox Series X games will run on Xbox One X and Xbox One S. And one of those games is going to be Halo Infinite. It's going to run on that family of Xbox consoles.
I got to see it to believe it.
Okay, you got to see it to be. So this is my point that I was just saying a moment ago. If you, let me ask you, Jay, do you currently right now own a gaming PC?
Nope. You know the answer to
well,
that.
Hey, it's for the people. It's not for me. I know the answer. I just need to hear you say no for the people to hear you say no, right? So you're strictly coming from a console owner, right? A console gamer, right? So I've been trying to get you to cross over to the mastermind, master race PC dark side for how long now?
Oh man, years now.
So and most recently because I've built my own gaming PC. I just updated it after just 2 years because there's a lot of stuff that I've learned now in 2 years that I didn't know when I first built the computer. So my PC was good to go 2 years ago. Now it's forget it. I don't even want to get into it. But my point with it is what I was saying just a moment ago. The mindset of console players, this was my mindset before. The only way that I would experience better graphics, better performance, even though these wasn't things I was looking for, just better graphics, better experience, or more grandeur experiences, was waiting for that next generation console. It was like, you remember back in the days with the Sega Master System, and then the Genesis came out, It was like, oh, from 8-bit graphics to 16-bit graphics. Or the same thing with NES. You had NES and then the Super Nintendo. And then all the other Nintendos that came after that, the GameCube. And, you got these bumps in resolution. You got these experiences that now were quote unquote, bigger and better. The games looked prettier, ran smoother. You can do more because you have more assets. You had the hardware could run these games, right? So it's the same thing that's happening now, and that's why I'm making that claim with 100% confidence that the consoles, this next gen consoles, have some serious hardware in them that only PC players have experienced. Console gamers have not experienced these things.
Well, you know what? It's not about the system hardware. I'm gonna be straight with you. It's about what the programmers do with it.
Exactly.
The system hardware means nothing to me. If you can't program from it or for it, what's the point in it? You can talk about how powerful the system is all day long, but at the end of the day, if you're not taking advantage of it, what's the point?
Yeah, and you know what? And I agree with you 150% on that point. What my point, what I'm trying to get at right now is that the mindset that console players have, because they don't know the PC gaming side. See, PC players are going to look at the next gen consoles and they're going to see the specs and they're going to say, wow, that's pretty cool for a console. But
no, they're not.
I've already no. But let me finish my sentence. Let me finish.
Oh, okay.
But they're gonna say that's cool for console gamers, but we've had that tech for like 5-10 years already. You know what I'm saying?
900 years is what they're gonna say. Like, this is old news.
Hey, listen. Listen. Let's just make the point clear so we don't even go back to it. PC gaming, as far as hardware and running stuff, is always going to be better than a console. Okay, you have a closed system, a closed box system. My computer right now, if I want to go in there and change my capture card, which I did, I swapped out a 1080, capable capture card for a 4K capture card. If I want to change my CPU, I've changed it. I've done that. If I want to change my graphics card, I can do that. So it's scalable. And this is what we're talking about as far as the new systems that are coming, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X. This is a step closer to mirroring what a PC can do. And that's why Xbox has been working for years. Phil Spencer has been working for years to make backwards compatibility not just a thing moving backwards, but moving forwards as well. To where, eventually you're going to have to upgrade your box. If you're a console gamer, you're going to have to upgrade your box eventually. But all them games moving forward, you're going to be able to take them with you. You wasn't able to do that before with a console. Am I right?
Wrong.
Or am I wrong?
You were wrong. You can do that with the Switch.
Okay, with the Switch, you had to repurchase the same game.
No, it doesn't matter. You can still take it on the go.
It doesn't matter. How do you take a Super Nintendo or a Nintendo game with you on the Switch? You had to what? You have to repurchase it, don't you?
I was one of those people who sell the 7 Cs. So I was playing stuff on my Vita, PSP. There's always a way.
Okay, but I'm talking about you have your games on your original Xbox, and you have a Series X, an Xbox Series X. Because you have those games, and those games are in the cloud, in your account, in your library, you will always have those games with you. You don't need any other hardware. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, that's true, but you've been experimenting with the cloud-based thing, right?
Yeah, I'm part of that beta for the xCloud. Yes. Yes, which is, I mean,
And
which is something I don't want to get into now, but xCloud is amazing. We've seen that Stadia launched, and I think that Stadia technology had all the right ideas. It just launched real sloppy, and you don't hear anybody talking about it no more.
there's nothing to
Because
talk about.
because at the end of the day, it's all about the games, right? It's about the content. You ain't got no games, it doesn't matter. Like what you just said a moment ago, you can have the technology and the hardware and whatnot, but if you ain't got nobody making games for it, what use is it?
Well, it's not that people are. Have you heard the numbers on Stadia?
You know
Like,
what? I don't really even care, to be honest.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. The numbers that last time I checked, Destiny 2, there are only 8,000 people on Stadia playing Destiny 2,
Yeah, that's
which
sad.
is pretty sad.
That's sad. That's sad.
I
But
mean, and Destiny 2, and Destiny 2 still has a population, but it ain't on Stadia.
well,
PS4, Xbox, PC, getting much love. But
yeah.
I think Google put their money where their mouth was, and they couldn't back it up.
Well, I mean, but Google got a whole lot of money, and I think time is all they're gonna need. Because eventually, if they stay with it, they might put out a decent product. Who knows? But anyways, I don't want to talk about Stadia now. Let me circle the wagons back, and let me get back to, this Xbox Series X games. Again, Matt Booty stating that games are going to run again on the Xbox One X and on the Xbox One S. So you're talking about, and this is not anything new. This is something that Xbox has put out there for years. Game Pass is a testament to that. Microsoft Xbox Cloud, the X Cloud, is a testament to that. We still don't know how the pieces are going to work together, but I was hearing a interview, or you might say, from Digital Foundries, and they were talking about how, again, I'm not quoting anybody, but they brought up a quote-unquote concern about the supposed limitations that this support that Xbox is talking about across their Xbox family of boxes and their generations, that there will be concepts and ideas by some of these game developers that they might have that would be limited because of the scaling and the hardware limitations. So, like, for instance, just to make myself clear, they came up with this example, like a hypothetical example of, if you had a game like Horizon Zero Dawn, where it's a PlayStation game, where they might have wanted to add like some flying creatures, or traversal by flying, that because the hardware could not handle that type of design, that they couldn't add it to the game. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
their concern, was quote unquote their hypothetical concern was that if Xbox is looking to support and run games that come out on the Xbox Series X, also on the X and on the S, that developers are gonna have to hold back on their design and on their ideas, because this game has to run across these three different machines. You know what I'm talking about? Does that make sense?
It makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's going to be how everything is perceived, and it's up to the developers. Because if you want people's money, you're going to develop the games people want. That's just what it amounts to. That's what it is. And I don't care what anybody says. If you can argue, if you can make a point that you can buy a system with a crappy game and love it, then more power to you. No judgment.
You know what? And I'm kind of of the idea that it's as simple as this. Kind of like what you said. If you make a crappy game on a system that has all the bells and whistles, all you have is a better looking, better functioning, crappy game. It's still trash. It's all it is. It's all it is.
As they say, you can spray potpourri on garbage all day long, but you're still gonna have garbage.
Right. But my point with what I was making before, Jay, was that again, I'm gonna break this down. My point with this is that they're talking about these supposed limitations. The average gamer, you and I, well, probably the majority of us, if not almost all of us, we're not game developers. We're not sitting in these rooms making, the concepts or planning these games out. We don't know what comes in or out of a game. We don't know that, right? We're just, we're just the recipient of a game, whatever they show us, and if we like it, we give it a try. And thank you for the host, DBM. What's up? What's going on? He is hosting us now, hosting the channel. Appreciate you. Appreciate you being here, Kyle.
Baby?
Yeah, I was ignoring the chat there for a moment, so I don't know how long you've been on, but listen, at the end of the day, when we get a game, we never get the behind the scenes look at, this game was first concepted in such a manner that it would have had this, and this, and that, and that included, but this is the game you got. All we know is the game that we play and we either love or we hate, right? So for me, for me, that concern, even to bring that quote unquote concern up, was, I guess if you want to play devil's advocate, if that's what you're trying to do, but how many games are really going to be affected? And this goes back to what you were just saying a moment ago. You have no real first party exclusive games coming out when the system launches, right? We're talking about Xbox. We said we're not having there's not going to be a game day one that you're going to put into your Xbox Series X and that game is going to blow you away. You're going to have some awesome games. I believe Halo Infinite is going to be amazing, okay? And if it's not, I will eat my hat, okay? You heard me say it here. I'm going to get me a hat and I'm
ready.
Okay.
Get your salt and pepper ready.
I believe that it's going to be amazing. Okay? I'm banking on that. You heard it here. However,
I want
to
throw my hat in there with you.
Go ahead.
As far as how good Halo Infinite's going to be. If Halo Infinite is not a good game, I'll eat my shorts. So I'll ride this out with you now.
Oh, okay. So you coming over on this side. So you're gonna take a risk now, and you're gonna say that Halo Infinite is gonna be a good game.
I'm gonna take that risk.
Okay. It's all right. We'll be all right. Trust me on that one. Okay. I appreciate the support.
Hey, well,
But here's my point, Jay. This is what a lot of people look at. What Kyle says. Do you prefer a beret or fedora? FTLs, Fruit of the Looms, or Joe Boxer? Kyle.
Well,
Okay, I'm just gonna ignore you said that.
Well, you know what? Fruit of the Loom might be a little fruity, so I will definitely take the Fruit of the Loom only because I'd rather eat some shorts that taste like banana.
No, man, no. No, I'm not even gonna have that conversation. We're gonna be. Listen, we're gonna be more than all right. If you look at how much time Halo Infinite has been in development, you do the math. I'm not gonna do that math for you, okay? But again, I'm gonna go right back to what I was saying, and this is common sense. This should be common sense for anyone who has been around for system launches. I don't care if that's a PlayStation or an Xbox or a Nintendo Switch or whatever. Those first games that come out on that system are not the games that are representative of the hardware. You don't get those games until about a year or two into any console. launch. You don't get that game. Am I wrong about that?
Nope. You are 100% right. And I can definitely look back through the years and agree with you 100% wholeheartedly.
So there's no system. You might get a game that you like, you know. I mean, how many times haven't I purchased Mario Kart with the launch of a new Nintendo system? I did it for the Switch. I did it for the Wii U. I did it for the Wii. I've had Mario Kart, and I think Mario Kart has been like one of the first day one games that has launched on all of those systems that I just mentioned. And yeah, and I went out and repurchased the game 3 times. Okay, but that hasn't been the killer game. That wasn't the game that brought out the true power of any of those systems that I mentioned. Because if you look at the games that are on the Switch now, as limited as the Switch is, or even the Xbox One X or the PlayStation Pro, the PlayStation 4 Pro, you see some amazing games, but they weren't games that came out the first year of the system. It was 2 years into the system, and now let's talk about PlayStation, because this is what I'm excited for and I'm still looking forward to. But I'm not going to play these games that I'm gonna mention on a PlayStation 4 Pro. I'm gonna wait for the PlayStation 5. The Last of Us 2. I'm definitely gonna play that game. I gotta go back and beat the first one, because I've taken it twice to the last like area and then never beat it. I don't know why, but I gotta go back and play it. So I'm gonna be playing Last of Us, the first one, and The Last of Us 2 on a PlayStation 5. I'm gonna play them.
That's gonna be sexy. I mean, the first one was a great game, so I can't argue with you.
I got Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition, wrapped. Okay, because on my PlayStation I was always hardware driven. I never had digital, so I still have it here on my shelf. I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn. I started playing it before, but I want to play it. I want to go through it. I want to experience that game.
Well, what about The Witcher? Because I know you were talking about beating that and playing that.
Brother, The Witcher, I've started it on PlayStation Pro, and then I bought it on the X. I have it on the Xbox digital, and I've put countless hours into The Witcher 3, and Kyle is a big Witcher fan. I think he went through the second one, and I think he's playing the third one now. But yeah, The Witcher's another game. I'm playing that on the Xbox, but so far I mentioned The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
What was the other game that I mentioned? Horizon. I'm gonna play that. God of War. I gotta go back and finish God of War. I'm gonna play it from the beginning, but I'm gonna play God of War. And these are all PlayStation 4 games. Amazing games. Ghost of Tsushima.
For me, it would be Persona 5 Royale, Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
There you go.
I mean, there's going to be plenty of games. I mean,
yes.
So I can't knock Sony. I've owned a PlayStation 4. I put my 100 hours in Persona 5.
Right.
Bought it when the game came out. I recommend, if anybody, if you like RPGs, try it out. It's well worth your time.
Yeah, there's still a ton of games that have been announced for this generation on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Okay, so that's my point. Let me read you. I went and looked up a list of the PlayStation 4 launch titles. Okay, these were the games that were available in and around the launch time of the PlayStation 4. Now, we know that the PlayStation 4 launched on November 15 of 2013. Okay?
Exactly.
I'm just going to read these games off to you, and you tell me if any of these games are like mind-blowing, oh my god, that was the killer game of the PlayStation 4. Okay, you just jump right in whenever. Just interrupt me, okay? Hold on to yourself. Oh, and let me just be clear before I move forward. The games that I'm mentioning here, unless I tell you that these were PlayStation exclusive games, they launched either on PC, Xbox, Steam. You get the drift, right? Nintendo. So here we go. Hold on. Angry Birds Star Wars. Okay? Angry Birds Star Wars. Okay? Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Okay.
Good game, by the way, but not exclusive.
Yeah, it was.
Okay?
Oh,
Battlefield 4.
yeah, non-exclusive.
Blacklight Retribution. That game actually launched on Steam back in April 3rd of 2012. So that game was out before the launch of PlayStation 4. Okay, we'll continue. Call of Duty Ghosts. There was a game.
Really?
There was a game also called Contrast.
That was a release title?
Yeah, these games were on or around the launch of PS4. And again, I'm going to reiterate in case you jumped into the middle of this podcast, these games that I'm mentioning, unless I specifically read that they were PlayStation exclusive games, okay? These games released either on the Xbox platform, on PC, on Steam, on Nintendo. They could be found anywhere and everywhere else. iOS, okay? So, yeah. DC Universe Online. And that game actually debuted January 3rd, 2011 on the PlayStation 3.
I remember that.
Okay. There was also an indie game called Dive Kick.
Oh, I remember Dive Kick. Dive Kick was cool.
That game came out on a PC, PlayStation 3, the Vita, back in August 20th of 2013. So a couple of months before it came out on the PlayStation 4, it was already on the PlayStation 3. Okay? FIFA Soccer 14. Flow, which was a PlayStation 3 game, by the way. Flower, again, another PlayStation 3 game back in 2009, and it came out on the Vita as well. Injustice, Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition. That game came out on the PS3. That game came out on the 360. That game came out on the PC. And that game was also on the Wii U. I'll continue. Just Dance 2014. Because, you know, Just Dance comes out every single year. I think it's competing with Madden.
I think Just Dance has a better chance of survival than Madden does. If you still playing Madden, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Listen, to each their own. I ain't gonna say nothing. Let me just move on down this list. We're gonna move down this list. You have that argument with them people, okay? Because I know there's people that play Madden. That's the only game they play. And if that's what you want to play, that's what you gonna play. That's how I feel about it.
I mean, it's your money, so I can't.
Oh, okay,
I can't judge how you spend your money. So you're right.
You can thank me later, Jay, for walking you back on that one. Okay, so
no, you ain't getting no thanks for that. I'm just agreeing with you.
All right, so we left off with Just Dance 2014. Killzone Shadowfall. That was a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
I remember they hyped the game up so hard. It's supposed to be the best thing ever, and it turned out to be crap.
And I agree with you. It was a nice looking game or whatever, but you wouldn't point to Killzone Shadowfall as, oh, this is the definitive game for the PlayStation 4 era. You wouldn't, would you?
No.
Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. Another PlayStation exclusive that is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts is Knack.
Now, you might have some people that might want to fight you over that statement.
Now, you hear me being sarcastic, right? You know I was being sarcastic. Okay, I played Knack, by the way, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. It's like a little platform. I thought it was cute, but again, I wasn't like blown away. And listen, let me say this. I picked up a PlayStation 4 along with an Xbox One on launch date. So I'm not talking out of one side of my mouth. I had both systems, okay? And I haven't mentioned the game here yet. It's on this list. But one of the very first games, 2 games that I played that I remember vividly, and one of the games was, at that point when I played it, I said, what in the world is this? Is a little game called Warframe. I played that first on the PlayStation. And when I played it back then, back in 2013, that game was rough. I said, man, I have no idea what's going on here. I must have played it for like 15 minutes, if that, and I turned it off and never played it again. Okay? The other game that I played that was the only game I thought was cool, because I didn't buy Killzone. I played Knack at GameStop because they had it demoed, and I was like, I'm not buying this game. I'm not paying no $50-$60 for this game. It's a game called Resogun.
Oh God, that game was terrible. Ew! How dare you bring that blasphemy in?
Hey! I thought Resogun was cool for what it was. I ain't say it was a great game. It was an amazing game or anything. I thought it was cool. But anyways, let me move down this list. You have Lego. You have Lego Marvel Superheroes.
I played that. That was fun.
You have Madden NFL 25. I think that was the anniversary edition. You had NBA 2K14. You had NBA Live when they were still making games. NBA Live 14. You had Need for Speed Rivals. You had something called Playroom. That was a PlayStation thing. The game I just mentioned a moment ago, Resogun, that was a PS4 exclusive. You had Skylanders, Swamp Force, whatever it's called. You had Sound Shapes, Super Motherload, Trine 2, the complete story, and last but not least, the game I mentioned, Warframe. That's about 28 games that were out around that first, when the console launched, and neither PlayStation or Xbox had any real definitive games. And out of the exclusives that I named there, let me just say them one more time: Killzone Shadowfall, Knack, and what was the other one? And Resogun. 3 exclusives for the PlayStation 4, and none of them games were like mind-blowing. Oh my God, this is it. Agree or no?
I agree.
Now we all know that Xbox ain't have nothing. So I didn't even bother making a list. But most of the games here that I mentioned, 05, they came on both systems.
Not Gears of War. In 05, 360 dropped Gears of War.
Okay, no. We're not talking about 360, Jade. We're talking about PS4. And if you're gonna talk oranges to oranges, you got to talk about the Xbox One.
Hold on, let me think here.
Or look it up. I didn't look it up. All I remember was we got a box that was inferior to the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 could play games at 1080p, and we had a box that had to be pushed to run over 720, maybe reach 900. It was inferior. Oh, and then we got it with Connect. Yeah, it was dead out of the gate.
That was Microsoft's fault though, because they knew. I mean, Microsoft hadn't had the best luck when it comes to launches, and that's been proven. So I'm hoping that they go balls to the wall off the gate day one. Like, don't play around.
That's why. That's my point. I think we come back full circle in our conversation. That's why, again, I said in the beginning of the podcast, my preferred platform, I'm a gamer. If I want to play something on the PlayStation 5, it comes out, you best believe I'm going to have a PlayStation 5 plugged in, hooked up, and I'm going to play it. I'm a gamer. Wherever the game is, I'm going to play it.
Amen.
But now, if Xbox, and this is why I prefer Xbox, and I prefer Xbox even more so now, although there are some things that I wish they would improve, which I'll probably comment here in a moment. But I think Phil Spencer, since he got in there and inherited the fire, the dumpster fire that Xbox was, he's done some serious work to turn Xbox around. Now I'm hoping because last year's E3 was terrible. Okay, it was terrible.
You're being too nice. Too nice.
It was terrible. I'm hoping that this E3 that they're gonna bring it. They're gonna bring us announcement of game after game, and not Bambi Simulator. I don't want that. I want games. Like, show me on the quality, on the scale of Halo. Show me a still picture of Fable. Show me that. You don't even have to show me an in-game engine or an in-engine gameplay of anything. Show me a still frame picture of it saying we're working on Fable 4. Show me something of that caliber.
You can
Agree?
give me. You actually, I'll agree. I mean, you can give me an Alan Wake. You can give me, and those of you who haven't played Alan Wake, my God, is that game beastly. What else was some good games? I mean, there've been so many good games that Microsoft has done. I would love to see a Gears of War 2 Ultimate remake.
I think that's eventually gonna come, just like they did with the Halo games, and they put it all in that in that package. I think they're gonna do the same thing with Gears. After they wrap up the series, they'll probably just go back and do that. Kyle says in the chat, Xbox is like 1911s to me. LOL. What do you mean 1911s? What's that?
A 1911 is a type of firearm that Kyle specializes in.
Okay.
And it's his preferred. I mean, Kyle would marry a 1911 and call it Susie if he could.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm glad that you understood that reference, because I'm like 1911. Yeah, now it makes sense. But
that's it. That's his thing.
But yeah, brother. I mean, let me say this, because I read that list to say this, to prove this point. I don't think that anyone who prefers the PlayStation as their console of choice, I don't think they have anything to worry about. PlayStation hasn't given us a reason to doubt that they can put out these awesome games. Again, we mentioned some of them earlier on. Some of them are still even coming to this generation. Again, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, they had Spider-Man on there, they had God of War on there. I mean, these are amazing games. So I don't think Sony has anything to worry about, or people who follow Sony and prefer Sony, I don't think they have anything to worry about. Would I like them to show their cards a bit? Yeah. Would I have loved them to have been at E3? Yeah. Because as an Xbox, as a person who prefers Xbox, I want Sony to do extremely well, because that's the only reason why Xbox has grown in leaps and bounds, because they got a fire put under them because Sony put it there.
Well, both systems have grown dramatically, and I want to give shout outs to both Sony and Microsoft for not only growing the brands, but also trying to merge them with the with the link play. Like, they want everybody to come together.
No.
Oh, what?
No. Let's not even go there. Xbox.
Oh,
No, I'm gonna set the record straight, and you can say whatever you want after I say. I'm gonna speak my piece on this. PlayStation, no, they don't want to play with anybody. Just recently, if you hadn't heard the news, just recently, MLB baseball, okay, which is exclusive, or I should say was exclusive to PlayStation for so many years. Just recently, MLB turned around and said pretty much, hey, we're going to re-up our contract with you, but our game, MLB The Show, it's not going to be on just PlayStation. We're going to be on Xbox, and we're going to be on other systems as well. And PlayStation had to swallow deep because they ain't want to lose that MLB The Show contract, because they make the best and probably the only game out there, because Xbox doesn't have a baseball game. But they didn't sign on the line because they said, oh, we want to play nice and we want to share our game with Xbox. Heck no. No. Even the whole thing when Fortnite, a free-to-play game, was cross-platform with every other system, even the Nintendo Switch. PlayStation came at the end of all of that after enough people griped and shouted and said, come on, we want to play with other people cross-gen and cross-platform. Then they finally gave in and said, okay, we'll flick the switch so you can play. And that's not the only two games, but I'm just mentioning those two just to set the record straight.
Oh, I do that. But you still got to give them credit. Even though they didn't want to do it, they did it anyway because they want to make money. And what do all these systems and developers
exactly
want?
now you said it right.
Money.
Now you said it right. They ain't do it out of the kindness of their heart. They didn't do it because they're about unified games and all that other stuff. Nah. At the end of the day, it was the bottom line. Now, Xbox, again, is in a position where it benefits them, of course. And it's the smart thing to do moving forward, to bring as many platforms as they can on board with their software. Because it's not hardware that they're looking to sell. It's software. That's all it is. They'll take a loss on the hardware so that they can get the system in your hands. Or if you already have a system like the Xbox One X or the Xbox S in your house, and they say, hey, you want to play Halo Infinite when it comes out? You have an S, you have an X, you'll be able to play it day one. It's not going to look the same as it being on an Xbox Series X, but you're still going to be able to experience the game on the system that you have. That's good stuff right there. Can't say that about the PlayStation. Because
I cannot disagree with that point, and I think I might have to jump on that bandwagon.
Well, and I'm just speaking, and I'm saying you can't say that about the PlayStation yet, because PlayStation has not come out and have said, hey guys, we know that we've sold over 100 million consoles. That's the install base that we have. That's the fans that we have. Let me give some credit to where credit is due. The reason why PlayStation is so huge, not only but primarily, is because their games are amazing. Okay, something that Xbox missed the boat on this generation. The first party exclusive games for PlayStation have been and continue to be amazing, but because PlayStation's relationship globally, especially in the Japanese market, is 1,000 times better than Microsoft. Microsoft now, again, with Phil Spencer, because Phil Spencer has been going out there and has been, negotiating, has been talking to people. That's why we have Kingdom Hearts coming to the Xbox. We have all these Final Fantasies that are hitting the Xbox. You're going to be seeing more of these games that were only on the PlayStation console coming over to Xbox as well, because Xbox, who is an American centered company, is realizing, wait a minute, we have to extend past our current market, and we have to do a much better job. I mean, I've heard people that live in Australia, that live in some of these other countries that don't have Bing points. They don't get Microsoft rewards. They don't get the services that you and I take for credit here in the United States. You know, we look at our gaming and we're like, man, this is amazing. You know, we got xCloud, we got Game Pass, we got Microsoft rewards, we got Bing points, we got, you know, this service and that service. Some nations don't got that. And PlayStation, on the other hand, has served their community around the world in a decent manner. And that's where they got the jump on Xbox.
Yeah, that's because Sony's been doing it for so long. They built on that platform.
Yeah.
So that's why, and Microsoft needs to take a page out of their book.
Exactly. And they can learn. One can learn from the other. I'm really hoping, brother, that PlayStation looks at Xbox and copies Game Pass. I would love for PlayStation to copy Game Pass. If they took and made, what is it, PlayStation Now into a Game Pass clone, I'm on board. I'll subscribe.
Yeah, I think I could rock. If they brought back like the old games, like PS1 and PS2 games,
yeah,
and just opened up the floodgates, oh yeah, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and that's what Xbox has been working on for years to do, and look where we're at. I remember when there was people that were laughing when Xbox announced backwards compatibility. People in the industry saying, "Oh, who wants to play 360 games? Who wants to play OG Xbox games on the Xbox One system?" That's not going to work. Look where we at today.
I definitely want to play them because there's some 360 games out there that are just so beastly good that you want to play them.
Yeah. Me as a gamer, it's all about, if I purchase a game, that's my game. And I want to be able to play that game. And if Xbox is removing the limitation of me having to own a physical box to play my game, and rather allow me to play that game on any generation moving forward, whether that's through the hardware or through emulation in that hardware, I'm on board. Because like I mentioned just a little while ago, I got games for the PlayStation 4 that I'm waiting to play on the PlayStation 5. So I got games to play. I can wait a year and a half, 2 years for that killer exclusive, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5 game to come out, because I got plenty of games to play right now. That's all I got to say about that. You still with me, Jay, or you passed out? Well, I think I lost Jay. Jay, you still with me? Well, I don't know if Jay is with me, guys, but I think we're going to shut it down right there. And then I think this has been a great discussion. I don't know how you guys feel. Chime in. Maybe if you catch this on a VOD, whether on YouTube, I'm going to put out that little ask of you in the chat. Help us to get at least to 100 subscribers. That's what I'm aiming for here by the end of January of this year. Obviously, that would be amazing. Hit that like button. Leave some comments if you will. Be nice, be courteous. We're just trying to have an intelligent conversation here. We're not trying to, take sides and just, get into a console war. That's a bunch of nonsense. We're gamers at the end of the day, and we just want to have those awesome experiences. And I want Xbox and Sony to do well. I want them to continue to battle it out because iron sharpens iron. And I think that if one grows, the other one's going to be stretched to grow, and vice versa. And that's just how it works. I don't ever want to see one of them monopolize or cannibalize the other. That's just my take on that, guys. Anyways, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you again hitting that follow button if that's on Mixer, that subscribe button on YouTube. So without anything else to say, I will just say these words. As always, be kind to one another, stay blessed, and remember to keep your life drama free. Later.